How to hire a business lawyer. Follow the 6 proven steps to hire a lawyer or law firm to represent your business. Keep in mind that having the right legal counsel can help your company in many ways, but you should determine first if hiring a corporate attorney, same thing as business lawyer, is both beneficial and financially feasible for you. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. How are you doing today? I'm doing fantastic. If you were to ask me, if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today, I want to talk to you about something very interesting. If you have a business, I want to talk to you how to hire a corporate attorney or a business lawyer. It's the same thing. Number one, find out what your company's legal needs are. It's very important because the nature and objectives of your business will determine the legal expertise that ultimately is most valuable to you. For example, let's say you own a technology company. You might be satisfied with a business attorney or firm that specializes primarily in what? IP, intellectual property rights, licensing. Even if they have little experience in other areas of corporate law, it doesn't really matter. What you want to focus on is IP, rights, and licensing, for example. And if you run a more generic manufacturing or service business, let's say you are in the accounting industry or you are a consultant, then you might merely need a contracts expert to assist you with client negotiations, for example, finalizing agreements, drafting, maintaining proper corporate records, and so forth. So to better determine what really matters for you, to better determine your company's legal objectives, you got to ask yourself a couple of questions. For example, what legal guidance does my company need regarding things like contractors, government regulations, taxes, customer warranties, employees, and so on and so forth, in order to avoid future liability? So what does the company need in various facets of the business in order to avoid future liability? Where are there efficiency gaps or competency items in the company's daily operations? What are your short and long-term goals for the business? Because based on where you want to go, operationally speaking, you would need a certain type of legal expertise. Does the company need to raise additional capital? So if you are bringing investors in or you are going the route of debt financing, you would need a strong lawyer, somebody who has expertise in debt financing or equity investing to kind of support you. Does your business need to lease or purchase any commercial property? Those are questions that you need to ask a potential attorney. Another question that you want to ask is, does your business need to restructure its existing debt or capitalization? Again, if you want to reach out to a Wall Street, somebody who has experience with Wall Street transactions in terms of helping your company handle any debt financing, any debt restructuring, any equity restructuring, bringing in new investors, or reaching out to existing lenders to restructure the debt or to transfer balances. Does your company need to acquire or dispose of any assets? So assets, transactions, especially equipment and capital assets, long-term assets, may have some taxes, some contractual, some obligatory, some legal consequences and implications. So you need to have the right counsel by your side. Are you considering a sale of the company or taking the company outright public? So if you are thinking about an IPO, you want to have an initial public offering IPO, you would need someone who has experience, again, when it comes to mergers and acquisition or stock market transactions. Does your company need to create additional divisions or subsidiaries? So if you are contemplating an international expansion, for example, you would need to think about all the regulations, the laws, all the legal subtleties that are involved in such a transfer of commercial skills, commercial expertise, or commercial portfolios. So it is very important for you in that way, in that capacity, in that project, to have the right legal expertise. So clearly defining your company's needs allows you to proceed with your attorney search in a more profitable, productive manner, right? So you're saving money. You are you are focused. You know exactly what you want, because by defining your goals, you know exactly what you want. So find out what your company's legal needs are. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. So after finding out what your company's legal needs are, you need to get a referral from a legitimate source. And I want to emphasize that, legitimate, because the best way to narrow your search for a lawyer is really to share your company's specific needs with a former or practicing lawyer, somebody who is a trusted friend with experience hiring lawyers, or ideally someone who is both a lawyer and a friend. This is what I mean by legitimate source. You want the person referring the attorney to you to be somebody very close to you, somebody whom you trust, somebody who has either a legal expertise or knows people who have legal acumen, right? So you want to focus on competence, diligence, and trustworthiness. Those are quintessential factors to consider rather when picking legal counsel, and getting a referral from a reliable friend or attorney can optimize your chances of finding a lawyer with those qualities. So preferably, you want to get more than one attorney referral. Don't just stick to one. You want to get 2 or 3 from your trusted source or sources. So if you have 3 sources, if you have 3 trusted sources, you want to get somewhere around 10 referrals. That way you have a large selection. You have a chance to compare and contrast, and takes your time to really find the right attorney for you. So unless your business is involved in a criminal or civil proceeding, your referrals will most likely be other than litigation attorneys, right? You're not looking for any litigation lawyer right now. While most people think of lawyers in terms of what they see on TV, right? So I'm thinking about courtroom drama, juries, judges, the whole shebaz. The fact is that courtroom litigators make up only a minority of all the different types of practicing attorneys. A lot of attorneys are more in the background, more behind closed doors, advising, helping structure transactions, helping clients move forward with transaction, working on contracts. So courtroom litigators is very, very, very a small portion of practicing lawyers in America, at least in America. The best legal counsel to assist you really is someone who you trust, someone who will pick up the call very quickly, and this is the person who can help you in the day-to-day operations of your business or with any specific business matter. This is someone who is a transactional corporate attorney, not a litigator, a transactional corporate attorney. And this is someone who, chances are, might not even have any litigation expertise at all. It doesn't really matter, right? Because you want to have the right expertise for you. A transactional lawyer has the business acumen to counsel you in all aspects of business dealings. I'm talking here about forming your business, registering your business, operating your business, writing and developing a business plan, implementing business strategies, buying or selling a company, taking care of an initial public offering, winding down your business operations, and much more. So they're really you want a transactional lawyer who knows the A to Z of business. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're contemplating an acquisition. You want to buy a company. You might want to reach out to a lawyer who specializes in mergers and acquisition, right? They're called M&A attorneys. And this is someone who can help you understand the whole 9 yards, because an M&A attorney usually has a working knowledge of multiple business considerations. I'm talking here about accounting matters, corporate governance, intellectual property, real property, environmental matters, insurance, and tax. So what I'm trying to get here is that you want somebody who is well-rounded, somebody who has acumen in a variety of topics relating to business. So by having somebody well-grounded, you are able to get expertise that is necessary for your business and for your particular situation, and that person can help you address the issue themselves or recommend the right legal expert for you. However, you should have confidence that your trusted source will recommend one or more attorneys to best suit your particular needs, right? So you can try to find So you can also go online. I'm not saying you should just dish the internet. No, Google is your best friend sometimes, but when it comes to finding an attorney, you can go to, I'd say first, go to a legitimate source, a trusted friend. You can also call the local section of the American Lawyer Association, for example, Bar Association, the American Bar Association, right? You can reach out to the Chamber of Commerce where in the city where you operate. The bottom line is you want someone who really is trustworthy. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are still having a conversation today around how to hire a business lawyer. And I'm just talking to you about the important fact is that you need to get the referral from a legitimate source. And I also told you that you also need to define your company's goal. Now, let's talk about number 3. Third step here, do your research, right? Once you get recommendations from friends and family members, do your research. Research the attorney and their law firms. You want to dig deep. You want to look at things like reviews, online reviews. You want to look at the lawyer's educational background, areas of expertise, years of practice, and any notable publications or transactions. Now, it's very important to understand that a lot of lawyers nowadays, they are embracing the internet era. So they have a social media presence, so you can read their profile. You can go on LinkedIn, you can go on Facebook, Twitter, or the like. If they have a YouTube account, go and listen to a few videos, watch a few videos, because you're trying to have an idea of where this lawyer stands in the legal spectrum and whether or not his or her services will fit your business proposal, your business plan. Now, remember, there are also some online lawyer directory, for example, nolo.com, NOLO.com. You can actually read more about the lawyer there. You can not only search for a lawyer by location and practice area, you can also read about the lawyer a little bit to know that you're getting the right person. Now, you can also go to the website of an attorney, relevant state bar association, for additional information, right? Because the state bar website will help you verify that the attorney is currently licensed to practice law and indicate whether or not the attorney has had any disciplinary history. Another thing you want to do is to conduct a simple Google search on the attorney's name to find out any other relevant details, whether positive or negative. What I'm trying to say here is that you want to have a sweeping review of the attorney's background. In business, experts call it due diligence, right? So you want to conduct due diligence on that attorney to make sure you are getting the right person. All right. So let me just quickly say that before I go to number 4 here, if you love the content's clarity and quality so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you are informed in real time whenever we drop a new show. And we do this kind of shows every single day, rain or shine. Like this content, share with friends and family and colleagues, and most important, also comment. If you have anything to add, you have questions, you have something to ask, just drop a comment. We reply to all and any comment. Number 4. Prepare the initial interview, the initial consultation. So let's say you have 3 or 4 or 5 recommendations. Make sure that you set up a consultation with each of them. So what you want to do is you want to set up an initial consultation so that you can share the full scope of your business's legal needs with your prospective counsel, right? Now, if at all possible, because sometimes it's very complicated, but it is possible, you want to conduct this first meeting in person. Now, if this is not possible, you can still do a video conference, but it is just important to have some initial meeting with a person live. The reason is that you know that there are things that don't lie. First impression counts, and there are some subtle traits and features that we are able to pick up from human beings, from other human beings, that you can't have over the phone or over a computer camera. So make sure that the attorney should offer to do so at no charge, right? Know that if you ultimately hire the attorney, you should review your first invoice to confirm that it does not include a charge for your initial consultation. Initial consultations are free because the introductory meeting is there for a simple reason: acquaint you and your prospective counsel to the work ahead. Now, this meeting should serve many purposes. You should fully explain your business goals and the role that you expect your attorney to fulfill. Ask many questions. Ask questions, as many questions as necessary, to determine whether the attorney has the requisite competence here and is enthusiastic to properly address your business concerns. And you want to make sure that this attorney is free, right? Because the last thing you want to do is really following someone and constantly calling them, they're not returning your calls, and your attorney is constantly ghosting you. Nobody wants that, right? You want to establish some business etiquette rules at the first meeting and make sure that things are clear. He or she has to have enthusiasm, sincere enthusiasm, to address your business concerns. You want someone who is hungry. You want a lawyer who is hungry, a lawyer who exhibits competence, who exhibits energy, who exhibits some real passion for your business. Of course, he or she has been paid, but if you are going to pay someone who is lethargic, that's just a bad sign from the get-go. You should ask as many questions as necessary, right? Because you want to make sure that you are being understood, and you want to make sure that the lawyer treats your business like a member of your immediate family. Have a rapport with your attorney. And that relationship that you're cultivating from the get-go should allow you in the future to talk to them not only as a friend and trusted confidant, but also as a customer who expects let's just say a high level of service, right? Now, the thing here is that make sure when you talk to the attorney to be forthcoming with the truth. What I'm trying to say here is to be honest with your attorney. Be sincere. Be direct about your business, your general management style, the amount of time and attention you will require from your counsel, how you expect this relationship, this client-lawyer relationship to develop in the next, say, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, doesn't really matter, right? Make sure you give as much details as possible about how your relationship typically works, how much the attorney will charge you. Agree on that, right? Don't go too much in details here in the first meeting in terms of a compensation and fee and all this kind of stuff. Make sure first you focus on chemistry. Is there any chemistry between you and the attorney? Any report, anything building that makes you feel, oh, okay, this is the right one, right? So focus on that first. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Q. We are still talking here today around how to hire a business lawyer. And I want to talk to you now about the fact that you need to agree on a fee structure. That's number 5. Let's say you decide to move on with a particular attorney. The chemistry is there. You feel comfortable with everything you've talked about. He or she is sincerely enthusiastic about the relationship. He or she has expertise, the particular competence that you need for your particular industry or company type and your goals, and you want to move forward. So now it's time to talk about fees. Right now, if you feel that your initial consultation with the lawyer is going well, don't hesitate to bring up the topic of fees. This is an important element that can either make or break a potential lawyer-client relationship, right? So you want to lay your cards for that matter, out on the table early. Now, attorneys and law firms generally can propose various fee structures, with sole practitioners likely having the most leeway and creativity. So depending on your business's needs, you can usually choose between a flat fee, either on a monthly basis or for a specific transaction, or an hourly fee. Note that litigators often agree to contingency fees, whereby they risk working for free but then earn a percentage of your civil award if your case is successful. However, this fee structure is generally inapplicable to transactional law representation. Another thing you want to think about is that it is standard for lawyers to require a retainer prior to commencing any work for the company, so you should not take offense when the lawyer requests this. You can always take into consideration how aggressive the attorney is about the retainer. the amount of the retainer, or whether or not this lawyer is willing to provide any initial services as a trial run prior to you paying him or her any retainer, right? So this is the things you have to think about. So when you think about fees, you have to think about retainer, think about a flat fee, hourly fee, that kind of stuff. But again, make sure that you discuss the fact that your initial consultation with your attorney should be free. Number 6, that's the last part here. You want to compare and contrast. So at the end of the day, choosing the right attorney for your business is more of a feeling, right? I was talking earlier about chemistry. It has to be gut feeling. It has to be something that comes from the belly, something that tells you this is the right person for me. So if you have any apprehension, say about a particular candidate, then continue your search. Nobody's forcing you to hire anybody, right? It is you want to gauge as many candidates as possible. This is why it is optimal to consider multiple recommendations from your trusted sources and then choose the legal counsel who's the best fit for your business and you. All right, folks. So this is the conversation for today. I was talking to you about how to hire a business lawyer, and there are 6 very easy steps. Find out what your company's legal needs are. Get a referral from a legitimate source, a trusted source. You want to do your own research. Prepare the initial consultation. Agree on a fee structure. And compare and contrast to see what works. Who is the best? Who is a suitable candidate for your business? Thanks so much for listening to this conversation. I really appreciate that. And if you love it, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you can be informed in real time whenever we drop a new show. Like, comment, and share this content. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.